Good morning, everybody. Today is my very first vlogging episode of my contest prep this year, which is a perfect time because I'll be working in San Diego this weekend, so you get to see all the traveling. It's just after 5 o'clock in the morning. I really don't know if I'll be able to train this weekend, so I'm gonna do some hamstrings plus my cardio, and I'll take you along for the journey. So before every workout, I'll warm up with an ab circuit, crunches, side crunches, and leg raises for 30 reps. First exercise is a standing leg curl. You notice how fast I'm going with this. This is the very first set. While I was going fast, I could still feel it, but not as efficiently. Watch this next set. This is the same exact weight that I've been using with a slight pause at the peak contraction, and I felt it so much more. I want all of you to try to contract the muscle rather than just blowing through the exercise. We go on to a high rep leg press. This is probably my first working set. I did 2 total. I forget what it was. I think it was like 6 1/4 plates or something like that. Wider stance, toes and knees out, trying to work more of my hamstrings than my quads for 20 reps straight. Anytime I run into this particular hack squat machine, I like to do these reverse hack squats. They basically mimic a stiff-legged deadlift. So the main idea is to get that stretch. Now there's not really much contraction you can do unless you're trying to work your glutes, but for hamstring purposes, I'm really trying to get that stretch in the hamstrings, as you can see them. Now here's a little different angle. This is probably, I think this is a PR for me, 4 1/4 on each side. You can place your hands wherever you feel comfortable, at the middle, at the top, or at the bottom. It really doesn't matter. Just be mindful that you don't mess up your lower back. You also have to remember that even though the exercise is called stiff-legged deadlifts, you're not necessarily having stiff legs or locking your legs out or your knees out. That's kind of dangerous. You always want a little bend in them. Up next is one of my favorites, is the lying leg curl from the floor. Boom, right there. Train your hamstrings the same way that you train your biceps. Your hamstrings are your biceps of your legs, so do lots of leg curls. You could do them standing, seated, laying down on the floor with dead stops like this. I kind of prefer this over the bench because, for one, I can get a deeper contraction. 2, I'm not overstretching my hamstrings, which leads to lots of injuries. Alright, so that in a nutshell was my hamstring workout that you saw. Now it's a post-workout. Love to do my myoblast. I got the cinnamon French toast. It's similar to the milk after you have cinnamon toast crunch, the cereal. So it's probably one of my favorites. It's the first one that we sold out on, so it's definitely a hot seller. You don't want to miss out on it. Okay, if you don't know much about it, it is a 4 protein blend. That's full disclosure, so you know exactly what you're getting. There are no fillers, there's no amino spiking, and I stand behind the products 1000%. I've used this all throughout my prep last year with no problems. I still got down to very low body fat. So to all of you who think that you only need a weight isolate to lose body fat, I mean, I proved that wrong. So, well, finally made it to the room. It's midnight. I think my food went bad in the cooler, so I have to go to Ralph's to figure out what I'm gonna eat. So I just bought a bunch of cold cuts. It's really not the greatest choice, and there's nothing open. I've been up for 20 hours, so by the time I fall asleep, it might not be for another hour. So I would have been up for 21 hours. I have to be up tomorrow early to help set up, get everything going. And it's gonna be a long day, so I probably should not have trained this morning. I probably should have gotten more rest. I just didn't know it was gonna take this long to get here, and I just feel exhausted and starving. But obviously, I can't eat anything right now. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Strong squat. Let's go, Dana. Everything you got, brother. Right here, right now. Let's go.
Back to Vegas, enjoyed a nice little refeed. Last week I had sushi, this time I had a little bit of pizza again. You know, if I woke up today not even 2 pounds heavier than I did on Sunday morning, which is good. That means my metabolism is actually working efficiently. I'm kind of excited to see what this week brings about as far as my contest prep goes. At the same time, I'm very grateful that Iron Bros had invited us over to the US Open out in San Diego. It was a great event. A lot of strong athletes over there. I give props to them because that's something I can't do. So go and grab your dope gear from ironbros.com. I'll be vlogging about one of the wrist straps that they had customized. So be on the lookout for that video coming up, probably on my next back day. So if you thought this video was kind of cool to see the behind the scenes of what goes on as far as a little bit of a small event, like this video, share it, put in the comments what you'd want to see next. I'll probably be vlogging about my next expo I'll be going to. Stay tuned for that.